It's Sandy Parker. Welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. I had a request from Cynthia, one of my subscribers, who really she wants to buy herself an ATG gun, and she wanted me to kind of walk through what options are out there and what I think of them. So I thought I would start from, I guess I'll call it smallest and go to biggest. So the smallest that I have is the Snail from Stampin Up. Now, the Snail from Stampin Up is not the least expensive. It is, in fact, just the smallest. The Snail from Stampin Up comes in two parts. You get the case, which is $7, and it comes with its own first refill, and then all you do to change it is you push on the side of it and it pops, this part pops out. When it pops out, you have to throw this entire thing away. It's not exactly environmentally friendly because it is kind of a big chunk to throw away, but compared to some of the other ones, it's not necessarily the worst case scenario. I always got confused about which side was up on and down. I don't know why. So I covered mine, and on this one I put an arrow down so I knew which end was down, so when I run it. It's a very simple apparatus. It just runs in one direction. Tombow makes a very similar device, priced a little bit less expensively. So if you were looking for something that's a little bit small that you can take places, this is definitely something that you'll want to get. The refills have 40 feet of tape on them, and as I said, this is a refill, so this is what you get. You can go through these refills very quickly, and I'm sure you've seen in my videos I use this a lot. I have put the adhesive on paper so you can see how well it holds together, and this is me pulling it apart. It isn't really hard to pull apart, but then you've seen me take it on and off of cards, and I do have a hard time pulling it off. So does it compare well with the other ones? Well, we'll wait and see about that. Just so you know, here are a couple other examples of very similar ones. This is from Tombow. This is from Darice. This is actually a mono vellum adhesive, so it makes vellum stick down and so you can't see it. So it's a really nice alternative to regular tape, and you can get these pretty inexpensively in bundles, so I wouldn't let price be the reason that you don't use them. I personally really like these. For me, they are by far the easiest one to use, and I don't say that lightly because I know expense-wise this is not the cheapest, but for me, making sure I can use it and can hold it and can pull it back and forth, that makes a big difference, for whether or not I recommend something. So let me show you how simple it is to use. If you've never seen one in use before, all you do is there's a flap that closes on it, which is nice because then the tape doesn't get all hairy and fuzzy. You just put that tip down and you run it across your paper. I don't know if you can see that, but it lays a nice line of tape down. It's a 1/4 inch wide, and again 40 feet in a roll. We'll go on to the next one, which is the Glue Glider Pro. This made its debut in my craft room tour video, and if you'll recall, it was much worse than this. This is a refill. I've since called the company and they've replaced this one because I had all kinds of problems getting it to work, but I did get it to work. The thing that's nice about this is well, there's several things that are nice about it. The first thing that you want to know is that you can pull or push it. So if you're somebody that wants to push away from you, you can do that. But you have to be consistent because your tape is going to be in one direction or the other. So if you start by pulling, then you have to continue pulling because you've used your tape in that direction. Does that make sense? It should. Anyway, so I've been pulling mine, so I'll show you. You just pull it towards you, and it lays a little. Now these come in little I don't know how big they are, maybe 1/4 inch. I don't know if I can get that up close enough to the camera that you can see it, but let me try. If you can, no, you probably can't. There are little lines in those. There's about every, let's say, 1/4 inch, there's a line, so it will break apart on each of those marks. There is not a trigger on this. It's just pushing and pulling. It is nice in your hand. It's not extremely heavy. Let me talk about price. You can get this handle in either the green, this is the green, or gray from gluearts.com. I put all this in the comment section. If you know me, you know that all you have to do is read the comments and you'll find everything you ever wanted to know and more. But anyway, you can get this right from the manufacturer, gluearts.com, and the handle is $6.29. They charge $8.99 for the refills, and here's all you do to refill it. You pull that out, you got a new one, and then you push it in. Now, if you go to their website, they have proper ways to install these. So I think it's if you have a problem with it, it shows you how you can take it apart and put the tape back on this little wheel that's in here. I really tried with this mess, but I could not get that to work for the life of me. They were wonderful though, and replaced 2 of those, which I ruined 2 of them, but they replaced 2 of them. And they asked me which kind of tape I wanted, which gets me to my next point. They have 4 types of tape: Permatac, ExtremeTac, Repositionable, and ValueTac. Weirdly enough, they're all the same price, and they're a 40-foot refill. I chose to get Permatac because I wanted, obviously, something to be permanent for my cards. And so far, it's working fine. I have not had that experience with it up to this point. Let's look at it. I taped this page together. And it's ripping it is completely, it is permanently glued. You can see it's ripping the paper. It is much, much stronger adhesive than the Snail. Let me put a little bit more down. It is a really strong adhesive. I'm going to rip my paper to get it apart. So as far as now it's stuck to the other one. As far as adhesives go, I really do like the adhesive. I'm still up in the air about whether this will handle things in the long run. Again, it's not an inexpensive tool because, let me tell you this. You can go to Staples and Amazon.Prime. Amazon.Prime, Amazon Prime, excuse me. If you have Amazon Prime, it's $10.83 for the gun and a refill. Or you can go to Staples and it's $13.79 for the gun and a refill. Then if you go to scrapbookpal.com, it's $6.11. That's the cheapest price I found for any refills. And the refills are 40 feet, which is consistent with the Snail. So that is the Glue Glider Pro from Glue Arts. Not sold on it, not sure though. Our next one is the Xyron Mega Runner. And you're probably saying to yourself, why do you have so many of these glue guns? Well, I'll tell you why. I found on eBay a while ago there was a man who was having an auction where he was getting rid of somebody's whole, I guess, scrapbooking supply, and one of his auctions was a box that had all of these in it. So not the Snail, but all these other ones in it. So I was really fortunate to be able to try out some different tape runners and also to decide for myself which ones work better than others. This Xyron Mega Runner has a different, well, it has that little flip down. I forgot to tell you. On this Glue Glider Pro, there is no protection for the front, so if you are transporting it, you will get fuzz or hair or whatever on it. This one does have that little closure on the front to keep that nice and clean. This has a dot adhesive in it, and I'm sure I can't show that to you so you can see it, but when you roll it, it puts down a bunch of little dots. I think it makes it so that you can pull it apart easier because watch, this is like nothing. I'm not sure if in the long run it will hold up better than that, but those little dots I think are maybe repositionable. I'm not sure. It didn't say that on, on the refill itself. It doesn't say that. This is $14.43 for the machine and a refill at Amazon.Prime. You get 100 feet in your refill, which is more than double what you get at the other companies. And the refills at Joann's are $10.99 full price, and you can usually use at least a 40% off coupon, so that takes it down to roughly $6.99. So let me show you how you take this apart. You just push on this little button. Let's see if I can even do it. I had trouble with this before, and Rich had to do it. Hold on, let me do it on my lap, and we'll see if I can do it at all. The placement of that button it's kind of in a weird spot. Okay, I did get it open. It has a nice hinge at the top, and all you do is you lift this piece out. When we're talking about things that go into landfills, this is from the Glue Glider Pro. You'd throw this whole thing in the recycle into your garbage or landfills, and this is the one from Xyron. And again, it's big. So if you do have concerns, although this one does have the recycling symbol on it, and I can't tell what that number is. It looks like it's an 8. Is there even such a thing as an 8? It might be a 6. I don't know. It's so small. It's even with my glasses on, I can't read it. It's so small. If it's a 6, my recycling will do all the way to a 6. So I could just toss it in there. Hold on. Weirdly enough, it is a 6. It's a backwards 6, though. Not sure why. You can't read it from the other side. On the side that you can read it from, it's backwards. But anyway, so I could recycle mine. That makes me happy to know that. And then all you do is you just push it shut, and it's good to go. So that's the Xyron Mega Runner. And again, it has those little dots in it that makes it different than the other ones. And this one has the same dot type tape in it. So let me see if they call it something. I have the box from that one. They call that a permanent adhesive, and it shows, I'll hold that up so you can see it. Do you see the little dots on there? That's exactly what it looks like. It has these weird little dots. It says it's a permanent adhesive, but honestly, I did not find it to be extremely durable. So that is the Xyron Mega Runner. It's not hard to use. It's heavier. It is heavier than the Glue Arts, obviously much heavier than the Snail. And again, it has this nice tip on it. It does not have a trigger. You just pull it towards you. So that is the Xyron Mega Runner. And again, all the information will be in the comments or in that section down below where it says more information. This is the big mother, the Scotch ATG gun. This is the one that most people have, including Lindsay the Frugal Crafter. I'm referencing her right off the bat because she recommends a no-name tape, which is this, that is much less expensive. Okay, I'll go into that in just a second. A lot of people have paid a ton of money for this. The price has come down dramatically. I found it at Amazon Prime. Now, if you don't have Amazon Prime, it's $50 a year. You get free shipping, free 2-day shipping. There's a lot of benefits to it. There's Amazon Prime Television. There's Amazon Prime. You get some of your books for your Kindle. There are a lot of benefits to it, but the thing I use it for is the free shipping and the reduced price on certain things. And in this case, it's $22.75, including shipping, for this unit with 2 refills. The refills have 36 yards per roll, and so if we equate that to feet, what's that, 118 feet, something like that. So that's something for you to think about, and there's 2 of those refills in there. There is another website that's called Frugo, F like in Frank, R like in real, U like in ugly, U like in ugly, G like in go, O like in orange, not zero, O like in orange, .com, frugo.com with 2 U's, not sure why. But I found it on frugo.com for $21.88, and then the shipping was like $2.75 or something. It was very inexpensive. I just did a web search on trying to find the least expensive of all of these, and that's what I've come up with. Now you can do your own research and maybe find it less expensive, but that's what I found. And then as far as the refills go, let me go into that. If you go to the place that Lindsay the Frugal Crafter gets hers, which is this, from, she goes to thetapedepot.com and she buys 12 rolls for $26.64. Now the thing that's nice about that is you still get, how many feet? I didn't write that down. Oh yeah, 36 yards. You still get the 36 yards, but the thing that's nice about it is if you want a 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, 1/2 inch, or 3/4 inch widths, you can get all of those for the same $26.64 for 12 rolls. Now, what I found when I researched Scotch, and some people are very, very particular about their tape and want the Scotch, and I'm okay with that. It's $6.49 for 2 of them at joanns.com, and that's full price. So if you have a coupon, you might be able to get the real Scotch refills less expensive than the no names. But for me, for roughly $2 a roll, I was happy with getting the no name, and it's worked fine. I did use this again. You know the problems I have in general with ATG guns. I always seem to have tape coming out the ends of it. I did use that on the puppy book that I did, because I just was running through so many of the snails that it just got ridiculous. So I actually went through a whole roll of this. I'm not saying it was easy, and I'm not saying that I recommend this gun. I'll just explain the whole story. Let me first show you, this is with 2 strips of it. And it is not the strongest. The strongest was definitely the Glue Arts Permatac. Yeah, the Glue Arts Permatac was definitely the most durable, but this is as strong as the other 3. Concerns about this. It is bigger than every other one by a lot. There is that one, there is this one, and then of course the Snail. So, I mean, there's a huge difference in size. There is a weight difference, and more importantly than the weight is, it is, for me, it's top heavy in my hand, so it kind of does this. You have to pull the trigger, and for me, because I'm left-handed, when I pull the tape toward me, I can't exactly see where the tape is. Now, if you're right-handed, and maybe I just need to switch to my right hand because I can do things right-handed. If you're right-handed, the tape is on your side, so you can much easier see where it's at when it's on the roll. Now, what everyone has said is that, oh, all you do is you pull the trigger and then you just let go. Okay, well, here's the problem I have when I let go, and I'm going to pull it up so you can really see it. Do you see those gobs right there? Can you see that? And here's another one right here. The problem is when I stop pulling the trigger and I try to pick it up off of the page, I end up with these little glue gobs. Now, I've seen Lindsay the Frugal Crafter have the same problem with gobs, and sometimes it gets gobbed onto that wheel. It isn't, I'm going to say that it is not the easiest tool to use, and it is not easy at all to replace the tape. My husband has to do it, and there are videos online, and if there were no videos online, we would have thrown this in the trash because you cannot figure it out without those videos. The videos are super helpful, and I recommend that if you buy this, that you watch those the first 100 times that you replace your tape until you know what you're doing. I I mean, there are so many people that can't live without this tool. My problem really revolves around if you have any problems with your hands or with being able to hold something that's heavier or being able to balance something that's a little bit heavier, because it's just not comfortable in your hand, and that's kind of the problem I have with it. And if you're left-handed, you can't see where the tape is, because see, the tape is on this side, and when you're left-handed and you're pulling it toward you, you can't see that. If you're right-handed, you definitely can see it. Now, I don't know if I could slide it all the way to the right. I've never tried that. Maybe you can slide it to the right. No, you can't, because the tape is way on the left. I don't know, maybe there is a way to do that. If there is, somebody can put it in the comments. I would appreciate that, because I definitely struggle with that part of it. I think for after your initial investment, it is by far the least expensive of all of these to use. If you can get used to pulling the trigger, that's another thing that after a while this part of my hand starts to hurt. I don't, you know, I do not talk about those kinds of things, but I want you to know about this in terms of if you are in any kind of situation where you are not physically, if you have some physical limitations, this is a little bit difficult. I would recommend this. Buy it from somewhere that you can return it, because if you buy it and you can't use it, or it's just too cumbersome for you, then at least you can return it. Or if you know someone who has one, borrow theirs and try it out for an afternoon and see if by the end of the time you feel comfortable with it, you feel like it really works for you, then it's perfect. Get it. I want to love it. I've told you guys this a million times. I want this to be my best friend, but I've never been able to make that transition. Let me tell you where I stand when it comes to these. For the money, once the initial investment, I really think this is a good investment if you can use it. I want to be able to use it more than I have, and I will try to use it more so that you will see me using it. I'm not 100% sold on it because of the issues I've told you, but I do have a lot of the tape, and I'm running through, I bought a whole bunch of snails from someone who was trying to get rid of them, so I have a bunch of snails, and I love them because they're so easy for me to use. If it was up to me, I probably would just use snails, because they are so easy for me to use, and I mean, they're not, I guess I'm going to say not just snails, but the concept of these little disposable ones. And I thought I saw a recycling symbol on one of these, so if you can recycle them, that would be great. I really do like these, and I know you've seen me use them in almost every video where I use a tape adhesive. I like tear tape when it comes to, I should have made that as another option, just tear tape. Just a roll of tear tape. It's not that expensive, and it's easy to use. And okay, so let me tell you about my second choice. This Glue Glider Pro. I do like the feel of this in my hand. Of all of these units, this one feels the best in my hand. It's not an inexpensive tool, and the refills are not inexpensive, but it is a nice, I mean, it feels good in the hand. So if you are looking for something that has really good adhesion, this one is definitely the one. And I did not even buy the ExtremeTac. If I'd gotten ExtremeTac, I'm absolutely certain that this would have never in a million years come off, because I only got the Permatac. So that would be my second choice after the snails or snail type. Tombow, you know, Darice, everybody makes them. Then third choice, the Xyron Mega Runner. It's not really, it's there's nothing really wrong with it. I just, those little dots just didn't seem like they were really that effective when it came to being sticky. And the price was for the refills is $11 for, well, that's full price. So you figure like $7 for a refill for 100 feet. I don't know. As refills go, that doesn't seem inexpensive to me, considering the Glue Glider Pro. No, that is about, because that gives you 100 feet, which is a lot more than the other ones. Well, I'll put all the information about the prices in the comments. In the long run, if you can manage it, the Scotch ATG gun is going to be your best value, and it is the #1 ATG gun that's sold. So I don't want to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. I just wanted to give you the full, I guess I'll say, gamut of ATGs, and let you decide for yourself what's going to work best for you. Personally, I think for me, I would go with the tear tape, because I like the tear tape the best, and the Snails. So that's my Let's Talk About ATG Guns. I hope you like it. I hope you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And let me know if there's any other videos or any other products that you'd like me to do a Let's Talk About, and I'd be glad to talk about them. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.